So here we will talk about the strategy of making a part. And we are going to design this kind of a relatively complex part, convert it from this assembly, which is a press fit assembly, into a single part. And we will just use the basics of the...
Professor,
Yes.
the screen is not on.
Oh. Okay. Let's see what is happening here. This is not on. So let's see how can we inside Autodesk Inventor convert something like this press fit assembly into a single part. In this exercise you will kind of learn how to look into the relatively complex part and break it down only to the basic features. In this case we can build this part only by using the common features like the Extrude, Revolve, in both cut and deboss or add material modes. So if we look into this, we can actually make this geometry very simple. I will start by extruding this base piece here, which will be just a rectangle of 65 by 39 plus 24, what is 63? So we will make a rectangle of 65 by 63. Then I will extrude one side of this fork. Then I will mirror it, and then I will build the top boss, and then at the end I'm going to put all of the fillets and chamfers and the proper hole definitions. So let's do it in the Inventor. So if I start the Inventor, I want to start a part in millimeters. I'm going to start sketching on a top plane. And as my first graphical primitive, I will use the 2-point center rectangle, because I want to have a central axis as my y-axis essentially. So make the rectangle and put it 65 by 63. So 65 by 63 millimeters. Going to close this sketch, and I'm going to extrude this rectangle for a 10 millimeters, and the default is a 10. Now in the next step, I am going to build this circular kind of a pedestal or a boss, and we know that this is centrally located and the diameter is a 55, and then after we will place this fillet of 5. I like to place the fillet at the last. Now, if I make it to be exactly 5, the fillet may collapse, so I will because of division by 0, so I will need to make it probably tall for 5.0001. So let's do that. So we will start a new sketch on the top face of newly created brick. And this will be just my single cylindric circle centered at the coordinate origin with a diameter of 55 millimeters. And I'm going to extrude it up for a 5.0001. Let's say. I'm going to immediately make a fillet actually, although my rule is that I do fillet last, but let's see actually if this will work, and it works perfectly. So what I did, actually there is just a tiny, by extruding it not exactly at 5, but with a 5 plus dimension which is beyond our tolerance, I prevented mathematical division by 0, which may collapse the fillet. Okay, so let's go back to our piece. So now we are here. Now let's start building the side of this fork. So to build the side of this fork, so what I need to do, I will need just to create some constructive line first. So let's make the line downwards, and then let's make sidewise line and put this angular dimension of 30. And then we will place this dimension. However, we will subtract from 135.75 up to here. And you see that the lines start from here. This will define our center for the circles that we will do the tangential line to connect them like this. So, okay, let's do it. So we are going to make a vertical line, and then we are going to do this slanted line. So I'm going to do this on the, let's see, actually on this face. So they can go start actually, let's see which one is the bigger. It need to be on a 65 millimeters face. So if I look at the top, the longer face is this direction. Okay, so I can actually start my sketch here. And I will rotate this to be in the right position. And let me first check my dimension, that the dimension of the line is a 65, and that's exactly what I had, so the 65. So I'm going to start by making a central lines. I will make the central line from this position, vertically down. I'm going to convert this line by right-clicking on it to a construction. And I'm going to make a slanted line. I'm going to right-click on it and put for construction. And I'm going to dimension the angle between those two lines, which will be a 30 degree. And I'm going to calculate the distance, which will be 135 minus 75. And I like always to use CAD as a calculator, so I will click from here to here, and I will just type 135 minus 75, which will give the 60. And then I'm going to make that this end point and this end point are horizontal. And now I'm ready to start making the side structure. I'm going to make first a circle. I'm going to make the center of circle and end point of this line to be the coincidental. Okay. Now it's coincident. I'm going to dimension this circle diameter to be the diameter of 50 or a radius 25, okay? So diameter is a 50 millimeters, and now I'm going to make two tangent lines from here to the circle. And you can see if you put it in the right position, it will inherit tangency. And from this edge to the circle. And I'm going to close the sketch for the purpose of the extrusion. And now I can extrude this piece out. Rotate that we see what we are doing. So I'm going to extrude this piece inside the screen. And I will extrude it out for the thickness of 12 millimeters. So let's do this. So if I click on extrude, I'm going to choose both areas. I'm going to choose the direction of extrusion to be in the screen, and I will put the thickness of 12 millimeters. And that is the boss add, and click OK. And here is my first set of the extrusion. Now I'm going to finish with a hole, and I'm going to build this piece completely before I mirror it on the other side. So let's see, this hole is a 25 diameter, and it has a chamfer of it. So the hole is not a 25 diameter. What is the hole size? Let's see here. Well, if I zoom in a little bit, the hole diameter is, I believe, 520 here. Yeah, okay, so the 520. So let's go and make that hole, and we can make that hole using a hole wizard. And we can make it to be a true hole. What is this option? Termination true hole. And the diameter as a simple hole, we can put 20. And now we should put the input geometry position. We can make the position on this face. So but it's better actually if we just make, so let's sketch point or work point. Yes, so if it is a better, allow center point creation is on. If I choose the hole here, let's see actually if we can make the center point. Okay. And here is the center point. It's automatically chosen and 20 millimeters through all. And then I can put the chamfer. And that chamfer will be the angle chamfer of a distance 1 with 45. And let's see on which side was that chamfer, and it's on the outer side. Okay, so that's this little chamfer. And this will complete the side of that fork. So our outside chamfer. Edge. Apply. Okay. Now what I will do, I'm going to mirror it. And let's see if I open this, I can choose the plane that I want to mirror it, and that will be over XY. Pardon, not the XY, it will be the XZ, not the XZ, the YZ plane. The YZ plane. So if I do the mirror over the YZ plane of this side, it will put exactly where I want it to be. So let's see where is our mirror command is here. So if I click on the mirror, move my coordinates, so I click on a mirror, features will be the features that I want to pick up are going to be my lastly created feature, hole, and the chamfer. I can also pick them up from the parametric tree, and my mirror plane is going to be my YZ plane. I can equally pick it up from the parametric tree. If I expand the mirror, say identical, okay. Let's see why the custom pattern has failed. YZ plane, featured, so okay, and features, I will pick up the features actually. Let's see if I do it again. Features are really the chamfer one. Mirror, actually mirror individual features. Extrusion 3, hole, and chamfer 1, and that will be over the YZ plane. Let's see if you just mirror the extrusion 3. And the hole 1. Okay, and then I can do the chamfer again. Sometimes fillets and chamfers don't like to mirror themselves. So let's see if we go here, and I can just choose the other edge. Just want an edge, not a solid. Right, okay. There it is, okay. So I have created the bottom of my fork. Now, for the top of the fork, I have two options. I can either go and do the extrudes, or I can do a revolve. The more natural thing to do here will be to do a revolve, and for the purpose of the revolve, I will need to make 3 rectangles here, which will define the profile. And let's see what are the sides of the rectangles. It's a 30. Okay, so it will be a 30, and then the total height will be a 75 from here to there. So I'm first going to make a rectangle of 30 by 75. Actually, we'll just need a 2 rectangle, because here will be just this cut out. So let's make a sketch, and let's choose the YZ plane for a sketch. And let's make the center line. Which is going to be a 75 high. Then I will make a rectangle here. A regular 2-point rectangle. Going to dimension that this is 30 divided by 5, 30 divided by 2, 15. And then I'm going to place 22 offsetted. I'm going to place the rectangle which is a 10. I'm going to place another rectangle here, like this. I'm going to specify that the distance between here to here is a 10. And I'm going to specify that the distance from here to there is a 22 and the height is 11. Okay, so (22), and then the height of that recess will be 11 millimeters. And let's see why this is not defined. Oh, okay, so we need to make actually that this point is also that these two are identical points and that will be fully defined. Okay, so here is our profile. Now what I need to do, I will revolve this profile. I will choose axis my left, and I'm going at my left line, and I'm going to select the profile, this, and look at this, we're almost done. So now, the last step that we need to do is to put a couple of chamfers, and they are all 1/45, so that's chamfer here and chamfer there, and we have completed this example. So again, chamfer, edge, apply, and again chamfer edge. I don't want a face, I want an edge, so maybe restart chamfer again, edge, apply. Okay. And this completes this exercise. Our fork converted from the assembly is now done as a single piece. And if I choose some material properties here, so let's do the eye properties. Let's say that I want to have a material that this fork is made out of the, let's say that it is made from the alloyed steel. Apply. We can actually see what is going to be the mass of this fork if it make it so. And let's see what is the mass, 1.448 kilograms. Okay, and this complete this exercise. You have successfully converted assembly drawing into a single part drawing, and you have incorporated all of the elements from this drawing into your parts. Okay.